What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Fireside Giants. I'm your host, Anthony Rivardo, and today we're again talking about the 2022 NFL Draft coming up at the end of this month. The Giants having some visits with some players, doing their top 30 visits, but also having a local pro day. And at this local pro day, of course, you're going to see players from teams like Villanova, Penn State, and a few other teams in that tri-state area coming out to visit the New York Giants and kind of let their talents be shown on the pro day stage. So, of course, make sure to leave your comments in the comment section down below what you think of the player that we're going to discuss in this video. Make sure you leave a like if you do enjoy this video, and stay tuned to Fireside Giants with plenty of great draft content upcoming for the rest of the month, daily uploads. But without further ado, let's discuss Jesse Luketa, Penn State linebacker that the Giants have shown some interest in. Now, he visited today with the Giants at their pro day, the local pro day that they had. Penn State players were there, and Jesse Luketa, former Penn State linebacker, made his way over to the Giants Stadium for the pro day. So let's take a look at Jesse Luketa and what he brings to the table, and could he potentially be the guy that fills the void at inside linebacker for the New York Giants? Now, personally, I don't necessarily think he fills a void at inside linebacker, but what I really like about Jesse Luketa is his versatility. Now, Jesse Luketa has a lot of versatility. You go over to the Draft Network and they describe him as a versatile or a hybrid defender. So let's take a look at what Kyle Krabs of the Draft Network had to say about Jesse Luketa. Penn State's Jesse Luketa is a hybrid defender who has been able to forge an impact for the Nittany Lions defense as both a stack linebacker and a defensive end throughout the course of his collegiate career. In the pro game, I would look for Luketa to play a hybrid outside linebacker role where his length and violent hands can shine at the point of attack and when engaging against blockers at the point of attack. He's likely an early down option and may need to defer his passing down reps to a more refined rusher until he's afforded the opportunity to build out his own pass rush skill set. Of course, he only has 0.5 career sacks to his name, but he did tally 61 total tackles and 8.5 tackles for a loss in 2021. Started the last two seasons for Penn State, has really good size, and he's extremely physical, violent at the point of attack, as the Draft Network described. Their ideal role for him is an early down hybrid linebacker. Scheme tendencies, multiple front scheme with blitz-heavy tendencies to help manufacture free runners. Now, what does that sound like to you guys? A multiple front scheme with blitz-heavy tendencies to help manufacture free runners? Now, that sounds like a Wink Martindale to me. Of course, taking a look at Jesse Luketa's draft stock, the Draft Network, or NFL.com rather, has him as a potential backup with the potential to develop into a starter. I believe he has a 4th or 5th round projection in mock draft. So later round guy, could maybe even be a later draft pick than that. I'm seeing average picks between 166 and 214 overall. So he could potentially be a 6th or 7th round draft pick as well at this point. But I really like what Jesse Luketa brings to the table as a potential developmental defender. Now, I call him a defender because I don't want to call him a linebacker. Yeah, he is a linebacker, but he plays defensive end as well. And for the Giants, when you take a look at what Wink Martindale likes to do defensively, it's a blitz-heavy scheme, and a lot of it is based on manufacturing pressures for the pass rushers. So the way Jesse Luketa could fit into the New York Giants scheme really would be as that hybrid outside linebacker that can drop in the coverage and play stack off-ball linebacker, but can also put his hand in the dirt if he needs to and pass rush off the edge. Primarily, though, his role would be more of a run defender, an early down linebacker, an early down defensive end, because he's a better run defender than he is a pass rusher. He's very violent at the point of attack. He's able to make an impact in the running game through his power in his hands, but he doesn't really have any pass rush technique. He doesn't really have the hand fighting abilities to get around edge rushers. He was at the Senior Bowl and did look really good. He had a very nice week. He has a really quick lower body. A lot of power comes from his hands, but he's got a lot of explosion in his lower half. He ran a 4.20 short shuttle at his pro day. He did strip sack Sam Howell during the Senior Bowl, so clearly he's been working on his pass rushing, because he did have a nice sack in the Senior Bowl that resulted in a fumble. It was a pretty nice play, got around the right tackle on the edge, and stripped Sam Howell, UNC quarterback that could potentially be a first-round pick. So again, what I really like about Jesse Luketa, that explosion in his lower half combined with the power that he has in his hands. He's got great get off the line of scrimmage. Ball is snapped, he's flying. He's able to just get right out of his stance and go. I'm looking at a play, the half sack that he had in his career right now, where he moves with the ball, basically. As soon as the ball is snapped, he's gone. He just had that explosion, and he was able to get around the edge. He really won there with the explosion in his lower half. He's very strong. There's clips of him doing nasty reps with the squats. He's doing nasty reps with the bench as well. He's a really strong athlete, and I really like what he could bring to the table. Now, let's get back to the main question of the video. Can he fill the void? Now, I don't think he can fill the void at linebacker. However, I do think that he has a role on the Giants defense if they draft him. And I think that role is to be that hybrid defender. Pass rusher, run defender, coverage guy if he needs to be. Just kind of be that hybrid defender. Can you put your hand in the dirt? Yes. Can you stand up as an outside linebacker? Yes. Can you go over the center as a inside linebacker, as an off-ball linebacker? He's got that ability too. So what I really like about Jesse Luketa is the fact that he is a perfect scheme fit for Wink Martindale, and the fact that he has the versatility to play pretty much all over the Giants defense, especially considering the defense that Wink Martindale is going to employ. So I really like Jesse Luketa for that reason alone. The fact that he's able to plug into multiple positions of need and kind of be an early down defender. Early on in his career, I don't see him starting. I think he's going to be a backup. He's a late round pick, developmental piece, but I think he's the perfect developmental piece for the New York Giants because he is such a great scheme fit. So say a player gets injured, say they want to develop Jesse Luketa into a starter one day, this is the defense to have him play in. This is the scheme, the system that Jesse Luketa works perfectly for. So I really like that. I mean, you think back to Wink Martindale's defense with the Ravens when he had guys like Zadarius Smith there. Zadarius Smith was very much a hybrid outside linebacker. He would put his hand in the dirt and be a defensive end, and then he'd be standing up, edge rushing or dropping into coverage, but he was a phenomenal run defender as well. And we know that Wink Martindale has had one of the best run defenses in the NFL for each of the last 5 years with the Baltimore Ravens. He's got a great run defense, and he prioritizes hybrid edge defenders or hybrid outside linebackers that can make an impact in the running game. Now, once again, sorry for the noise in the background. It's National Beer Day. Cheers to all of you who are drinking a cool brewski, but let's get back to the video. Jesse Luketa is a pretty good edge rusher, I think, with a run defending capability. Now, I'm going to go ahead and find a couple more stats, of course, and a couple more analysis. So once again, I really like the scheme tendencies that the Draft Network laid out with the multiple front scheme with blitz heavy tendencies. That's perfect. They list him as a good tackler. You go over to Pro Football Focus, we can get some good stats over there as well. Their pass rush win rate for him is only 11.6%, not that great, but his run stop win rate is 11.6%, the same as his pass rush win rate. But for that's not in the average category. That's in the elite. That's actually one of the highest percentiles amongst all of the edge rushers in this class. So he actually does have a really great knack for stopping the run. He played in 12 games in 2021. He had 1 sack or a half sack, 3 hits and 8 hurries. So as a pass rusher, not all that active. That was on 592 defensive snaps. He had more run defending snaps than pass rushing snaps, 281 to 232. So he was primarily used in those early downs as a run defender. Now, what I do think is interesting is if you take a look at his snaps by alignment, 2021, he really did have a position change because he lined up with 409 snaps outside of the tackle and 158 off ball. So meaning over 400 of his snaps at edge rusher, under 200 of his snaps as an inside linebacker. But that's different from 2020 because in 2020, 405 snaps off ball, only 19 outside the tackle. So he absolutely did undergo a position change, and you can see that reflected in great success through his PFF grading. 2020, his grade was a 56.8 overall. 2021, 82.4 overall. So he clearly improved once he moved into that hybrid defender role, started playing more edge rusher than off-ball linebacker. But yeah, primarily 2020, he was an off-ball linebacker. He's made the move over to the edge, and it's served him well. He looks like a very good developmental prospect, especially when you take a look at what he's able to do in the running game. I think that this is a perfect player for the Giants to target in the later rounds. They need to add depth at both linebacker, at both edge rusher and defensive end. Jesse Luketa fits the bill. He can pretty much do all 3 of those positions if he's needed to. So really like Jesse Luketa. Think this is a guy that the Giants absolutely will be targeting in those later rounds. He is a perfect scheme fit for Wink Martindale. No, I don't see him as an immediate starter or maybe even a starter at any point, but a really good player for the Giants to target as a backup in the back rounds of the 2022 NFL draft. So let me know what you all think of Jesse Luketa down in the comment section below. Make sure you go check out some clips of him. Let me know what you think. What do you like about him? What do you not like about him? Do you think that the Giants should target him in the draft? Let me know all of that down in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. We post daily New York Giants content. Every single day, we're posting something about the draft, something about trade rumors, free agency, and of course, all throughout the regular season, we're posting as well. So make sure you stay tuned to Fireside Giants. We got plenty of awesome content coming your way. And of course, our live stream for the 2022 NFL draft. We do it every year. Can't wait to do it again this year. Stay tuned. So again, leave a like if you enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good one, and let's go Giants.
TVSO.